Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Reviews. This time we're looking at a 10th episode of Dino Charge, the Royal Rangers. Now near the beginning of this one we have Kendall barely awake because she's pulled an all-nighter developing a new Dino Drive mode for the Megazord. Of course she had no chance to test it yet, and she doesn't get a chance to because she's at the museum and Shelby needed her attention. She has an artist friend named Julian who has some really good sketches, and she was trying to get him a place to show off his art at the museum. And despite admiring the work, Kendall decides no, because it's a history museum, not an art gallery. So what will they be showing at the museum? Well, outside they're unloading crates for a new exhibit, and it's the treasures of Xandar. Apparently its nation's treasures were lost a long time ago, yet Riley seems to know all about it. So he starts telling us a story about a prince and his guard called Sir Ivan. They were traveling until the prince needed some water, and his knight found something glowing in the water and went to pick it up. And before he could say any more, Koda cuts him off because he heard the sound of a big eagle, which of course was the Pterosaur attacking. And while they ran off, one of the crates began glowing, and it was a gold color, I might add. So when they go into battle, they discover that Pterosaur has its own Megazord mode, complete with a black cape and Fury is piloting it. And it's overwhelming the Rangers at first, who are using all their Zords, which of course prompts them to use their new Dino Drive mode, which I see no change for outside the Megazord, but inside the Rangers become armored. Now apparently that's enough of a power boost to make them on even terms with Fury, just trading blows. They even blasted the shield into his own barrage of attacks to block it off. But unfortunately for them, Fury fled because the Dino Charger was running out of energy. So back in the command center, the Rangers are trying to figure out what to do, because even the small amount of energy in Dino Charger can be devastating damage. But then that one crate glows again, and their other Dino Gems, energems, begin reacting to it, and then the whole thing just bursts open, and inside is the gold energem, also known as the Stone of Xandar. And Tyler has the plan of not hiding it from Fury, but telling him exactly where it is. And now back in space, whatever that thing is inside of Fury, it was not allowing it to fully charge it this time. But he decides to go into battle anyway. And on his way, he sees Poisandra and Curio watching something on TV. Apparently it's a news report that the Prince and Princess of Xandar are coming to the exhibit, and she'll be wearing the stone. And he recognizes it as an energem. So to keep us from being confused, we go back down to Earth, and it turns out it's a fake news story by the Rangers, sent out to trick them. And then Shelby comes out in a pink dress and a black veil. She's gonna be playing the role as the princess. And for Koda, he thinks she looks like cotton candy. And Shelby is not as all pleased, because she just sees princesses as snooty and uptight and stuck up and such. Keeper advised her that one in the power of royalty also has the opportunity to do great good for others. And of course there's no time to ponder that, because the prince comes in, aka Tyler, our Red Ranger. And he actually looks pretty good in that outfit, even with a fake mustache. To the point where Shelby decides, well, this might not be such a bad idea after all. So they're walking down through the crowd for some sort of welcoming event. Nobody knows who or what Xandar is. Apparently it's drawn enough crowd for people to be watching them. And on the side, she sees her friend Julian again, with all his sketches. So she just takes one from him, and is being broadcast on live TV, mind you. She says, "Oh, this is wonderful, I must have one for the castle." And Tyler's no better because he takes another for the Summer Palace. He really is acting out of his ass right here, and I love it. And then they get to the podium, where they expected Fury to have already attacked by now. So, in a horrible, horrible accent, Tyler starts making a speech about the history. You know, the one that Riley never got to finish telling him. Now the poster behind them, so he makes it up on the spot that the knight, Sir Ivan, protected the prince from some sort of monster. And of course it was then that Fury tore through that poster and went to attack, scaring off the entire crowd. And he just yanks that gem from around Shelby's neck. And this raging idiot, his first instinct is to use it as a power source inside his Megazord. One little problem, it ejects him, because it's a fake. So after a pretty straightforward battle on the ground, Tyler just takes 2 energems to his blaster to finish off his Vivix battle. He ends up fighting Fury and has him pinned down. He can finish him and take the energem. Problem is, that weird energy thing inside starts coming out again. And this time you can almost make out a human silhouette. And Tyler hesitates from this, to the point where Fury suppresses it once more and runs off. But hey, at least the battle was won, and they didn't lose another energem. So just a little bit later in the day, they're back down at the Dino Cafe, and Julian comes in telling Shelby that because the prince and princess recognized his art on live TV, he suddenly got a huge amount of offers and opportunities to travel and show off his work around the world. All because of Princess doing good, aka Shelby lying through her mouth about who she really is. Well, at least it didn't hurt anyone, because he has real talent. Now in the back is where things get real. Tyler is looking at a picture of him and his father, and he believes that was him inside of Fury this whole time, that he's trapped in there somehow. And Keeper says until it's sure of whatever's free in there, Fury can't be destroyed, or risk killing him too. And there we end off. Now right now I'm gonna say one complaint I have about this season is a lot of the episodes seem to just end. They don't say to be continued, or they transition out to something that would just fade it out or anything. It's just a sudden end and that's it. I don't know. That's something that's kind of off-putting to me because, I mean, yeah, you knew what was coming to a close, but that would be like cutting off the audio right in the middle of a sentence and the video is over. You know what I mean? It's almost as if the scene could have kept going for like a few more seconds, so it could have been a clean ending. Now I wouldn't be bringing this up if it was just once, but it just happens in a lot of episodes lately. And I hope that by the end of the season, it's gotten a lot more stable and concrete of how an episode ends. That's just my opinion of it. Now for the episode itself, it was really damn good. The last one was pretty cool, but it didn't advance a whole lot. This one just blows it way the hell out of the water right away. For one, it focused on a lot of real world stuff, like her artist friend, even though really it was probably no one in 2 minutes he was on screen. He really had a presence there. Plus we got to see a little bit farther into Shelby's character. Not to mention, she seems to have something towards Tyler now. Not that I'm too surprised, they seem to hit it off pretty damn well right from the start. So whether it's a joke or it's something that actually develops over the course of the season, who knows? It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it changes now that she found him pretty attractive as the prince. I was surprised there was zero Sledge at all in this episode. I mean, yeah, Fury's taking center stage right now, but Sledge is set up to be the main villain and Fury as one of his henchmen. So who knows, might be a power reversal, role reversal later on, assuming Fury doesn't get destroyed first. That would definitely be interesting to see how much of a rebellion there is. If any at all, because he's still competing with Poisandra and Curio, and Sledge has all the resources. Now something odd is sticking to me, though I think the most curious thing is this gold energem, because the way this was written, it seems that Sir Ivan found the gold energem. And that story, when Tyler just improvs that they were attacked by some kind of monster, that poster on the left side showed some sort of beastly creature with glowing eyes and some fangs. And that's all you can really see, because the top of it was like, had a cloak. It was very similar to Fury's, which leaves me wondering, did it bond to Sir Ivan? So who knows, Fury might actually have attacked him, because he had been on Earth searching for millions of years. It was never really mentioned if he himself was dormant for a while or not. If so, then what happened to him? Because he must have gotten away, or Fury would have gotten energem that day when they were attacked. But then tied us into the issue of Tyler's father. If he really was trapped inside Fury, how is a mere human with no special abilities as far as we know surviving there, especially when his energy is being drained to power something as powerful as an energem. Unless, of course, Tyler's father is the still living Sir Ivan, because once an energem bonds to a person, they remain eternally young. Only problem is, the image we have for Sir Ivan and the picture of Tyler's father are completely different. The thing is, his energy beings start reacting more powerfully in the presence of this energem and in Tyler. So if it was Sir Ivan, he would have his eternal youthful energy to contribute to it. But if it's Tyler's father, he's barely hanging on, unless they're one and the same. So if it's not Tyler's father, that's going to add to the mystery. But I'm quite certain whoever is inside Fury will be the user of the gold energem. Question is it the knight from hundreds of years ago? Or is it Tyler's father? Or is it both? We have no idea until the next episode. Because at this point, this mystery is reaching its head, and it's time to settle that plot line. Because there's still 4 more energems, which means 4 more Rangers. So you can't spend the whole time focusing on just this one. So whoever it ends up being, I really want to see what kind of twist to have in for it next time. Because I love the writing in this season. It's really superb. This is an A+ episode for sure. Anyway, I'm Jargus Ranger. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. Until then, let the power protect you.